Canadians have a reputation of being big talkers. Talking is easy, doing is hard, as we learned during the Trudeau years. Remember the empty words of our Prime Minister at international conferences? Lots of idle talk with little results. Government bureaucrats go on foreign junkets to international conferences for the perks, the chance to feel important and stay in expensive hotels and eat in the best restaurants. They don't care much for deal making, and half the time it is unclear why they are there. Real trade deals rarely occur at international conferences. Sure, governments will sign MOUs to do this or that, but very little comes from them. The signing events are usually designed for domestic consumption alone. If you have a load of canola and are looking for a new market, you call up potential buyers. You don't waste your time going to fancy conferences when sales can be made by exchanging a few emails and talking to your customers in video conferences. Businesses talk to other businesses. They understand each other. They don't need meddling politicians to help them close deals. Prime Minister Mark Carney seems to believe that more foreign junkets is better for trade. It is reported that he flew 190,000 kilometers in 200 days between May and November 2025. And today he is still at it, flying from India to Australia and stopping again in Japan. But after all this travel at taxpayer expense, he has absolutely nothing to show for it. Canadians need to realize that Carney is out for Carney, and he adores the foreign adulation he gets from parading around the world. Prime ministers don't make trade deals. The Liberals have always talked up a storm but never delivered on anything. The Germans have been crying out for Canadian natural gas for years. We could have had a Canadian LNG plant on the East Coast up and running under Trudeau, but the Prime Minister didn't believe in the long-term economic viability of Canadian LNG exports to Europe. What did Trudeau know about business? Nothing. He was just a failed schoolteacher with a pretty face. We've had a year of the Carney Liberals, and all we can say is that they look very much like the feckless Trudeau Liberals who came before them. A lot of talk and no action. Canadians are awfully naive to believe that their Prime Minister will bring in the bacon, as they say. He's nothing but a spendthrift banker who enjoys photo ops and talk about the big picture from the capital cities of Europe. Industrial development in Canada is at a standstill. Government regulations, Indigenous land claims, and political games make it practically impossible to move any industrial project forward. It doesn't matter how many MOUs you've signed or how a project is ranked by government bureaucrats. Little or nothing gets done. We need a hands-on managerial kind of prime minister who is ready to go down on the shop floor and get people to work on streamlining government regulations, on reducing the size of government, and installing debt brakes on government spending. If we don't find a real leader soon, we'll be heading toward a world of hurt called insolvency that will destroy our standard of living and put us in the doghouse of G7 nations. Insolvent in 5 is produced by Cinegraphica Media.